Hi, my name is Darlene Childress, and I'm a parenting coach. And today I want to talk to you about Mother's Day hangover. So, yesterday was Mother's Day in the US, and I would imagine that some of you were kind of like me this morning and went into the kitchen and were like, okay, here I go. I got to go back to like normal life and do all the things that I'm supposed to do. And maybe you were feeling a little bit disappointed that yesterday was over. Or possibly you may have been go into the kitchen and see the dishes piled up from yesterday and feel a little bit disappointed that you have to do the dishes, that the dishes were left over from Mother's Day breakfast in bed and no one did them. Or maybe you're feeling a little sad because there was no breakfast in bed for you on Mother's Day, and you're feeling a little bit sad because yesterday didn't go so well and there were no sweet moments of, you're the best mom ever, and, little cards and things like that. So we all have expectations of Mother's Day or just hopes that it might go a certain way. And when it doesn't, we can feel these big, big feelings of disappointment, sadness, or resentment. And last night I was scrolling on Facebook and I came across a couple of posts. One was titled, I want to read it exactly. It said, can we start a Fuck Mother's Day post? Or another one that said, okay, for real, I need to cancel Mother's Day for next year. And for all of these posts, there was like 100 comments and a lot of me too, really rough day here, disappointed, frustrated, resentful. So these feelings are normal. And I wanted to start off by just saying to you that these are normal emotions, that we all have feelings around Mother's Day. It's really a complicated day, and feels a bit contrived because it is. It was created by a woman named Anna Jarvis who wanted to honor her mother in 1908. And then throughout her life, she watched it become more and more commercialized and less what she envisioned it to be, which was a sweet celebration of mothers. And so she was, she regretted actually creating Mother's Day at all. So I know that you might have some big feelings about yesterday or just about parenthood or motherhood in general, some resentment, some disappointment, some frustration. And you might be wondering, like, well, what do I do with them? So typically people try to avoid these emotions. They binge watch TV, guilty, or, eat sugar, eat 3 pieces of cake, guilty. So those are when we are avoiding our emotions, when we're trying to get away from them. We don't want to feel them. They're uncomfortable. They remind us of the pain, and so we just try to get away from them. But the truth is, the best way to overcome our feelings is by feeling them. And this can be really, really uncomfortable. So what happens though when we don't feel our emotions, when we don't actually let ourselves experience our true reality of how we are feeling about a different circumstance, those feelings can end up festering and coming out through our behavior towards our children, our partner, or ourselves. And so what I want you to start doing is learning to identifying the emotions that you feel. And a real simple exercise is to actually sit down with a piece of paper and write out the feeling and the circumstance that's causing that feeling. So you could say, I am sad, or if it's not how you're feeling, I was feeling sad that my children didn't give me a card on Mother's Day. Or I am feeling resentful that my partner didn't create a Mother's Day experience for me. I am feeling angry that I had to do housework on Mother's Day. I am feeling resentful or disappointed or sad. Whatever it is you're feeling, write it down. Write down the feeling and the circumstance that's causing that feeling. And then just sit with that a little bit. And what happens when we are true and honest about our emotions, then we can start to shift out of them and get to a place where we can say, well, yep, that's true, that happened. And that's not happening anymore. And we can start to feel something different. When we avoid our emotion, we get stuck in it, and that's the emotion we stay in. So we stay in sadness, or we stay in resentment. And this is the strategy to do to get out of that emotion. What this is really self-compassion. This is really the practice of giving yourself space to feel the feelings you have. So self-compassion is defined by Kristen Neff as the being warm and understanding toward ourselves when we suffer, fail, or feel inadequate. So it's that feeling of feeling warm and understanding ourselves. Self-compassionate people recognize that being imperfect, failing, and experiencing life difficulties is inevitable. So experiencing hard things is true. It's going to happen. And when we are self-compassionate, we're able to, instead of getting angry about it, we are more accepting of it. People cannot always be or get exactly what they want, right? Is that true? We cannot always be who we want, or other people can't be who we want them to be. We can't get what we want. And when we deny this reality, that causes suffering for us, and that increases our stress and our frustration and our self-criticism. When we can accept reality as it is, whatever is happening as what it is, when we can accept it with sympathy and kindness, then we can feel more calm. So on the parenting path, we talk all the time about being calm as parents and feeling calm and connected. But the truth is, we have to do that for ourselves. We have to connect with our own emotions first before we can get to calm. And we have to be compassionate with ourselves before we can be compassionate towards our children. This is really hard work, and I don't want you to feel like you have to do it on your own. So you're welcome to message me, and we can work on a strategy for you to kind of overcome some of your deep, big emotions together so that you do not have to feel like you are in it by yourself. So I'm Darlene Childress. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Parenting Path.